Okay, La'ar Zeh. Yeah, page Chafala, first paragraph, first column, first paragraph, first column. Well, La'ar Zeh Tuvan Mishnah. Right now, with this, we can understand the Mishnah. Haim Amru Shloisha Dvarim. The Anshe Knesset Gedolah said three things. Right, have a Masunim Bedin. You should be, how do you touch Masunim Bedin? You should be calm with din or whatever. Right, not all calm. You should be Isaac with doing the proper thing. B'midu Talmidim Harbe. And be Maimed Talmidim Harbe v'asu Siag l'Torah. And you should make siyagim for Torah. Shatam shehutzrut takanas elu. Why do we need these takanas? Kish kashadayin is kaim a koyach hanavua. When there was still the koyach hanavua, yadayin mavchin takef mihu aimer emes umiyo mash mashake. Oh, this is mamash. It's mamash what we're discussing. Meaning, in the old days, I mean, we can fit it into what we're discussing. In the old days, when they had Navua, so you went to a dayan, and in a second, he sniffed you out. Which is maybe if I care from last night's daf, where it says you're supposed to whisper under your breath to the guy to try and fool him so the dayan doesn't hear, right? But I guess maybe that dayan's already after Anshe Knesset Gedolah, right? And the Bali Yatin, they didn't have to be chayker them, they didn't have to check into that. Of his battle on Navua, when his battle, right, when Navua was bottled, then they needed to warn the Dayanim to make sure that they do proper, due diligence.
This is the Ramban. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
What do you mean?
The Ramban says this. There was no need for doctors until we got to this point. And really, you
right.
went to see what was wrong with you because you went to a Navi and he said, "Why is my stomach hurt? Because you have on Pesach."
That's a good day. Right, very good. That's a good sushtel. All right, so say so similar. I was battle and Avu Yitzrichim Lazis, and then Lias Masuna Bedin. Bechain Amorim Midu Talmidim Harvi. Should make many Talmidim. Shad Oz. You misbarat Talmidim Mitzumtzum. The amount of Talmidim was very Mitzumtzum. The Isa Bechagiga in Ma'ase Bereshis. Usaidas Habriya Shenimsru BeKabbalah Ish Mipi Ish Me'anavim. Right. And these are the sidus of the Bria that was handed over by Kabbalah, Ish Mipi Ish. Shein Darshan Isaac B'Shnayim, Umutul Olam De Rak Liyachid. You don't darshan, as the mission Chagiga, that you're not supposed to darshan certain things to more people, right? And it's mutter to teach only one. Ma'aser Merkava, Shehu Sidus Ha'Olam Esal Yanim Gavaya Al Gavaya, and the Ma'aser Merkava, which is the secrets of everything, is on top. Ain't a nilmad afilu liyachid. Then you can't even teach it to any Talmud. That's why they didn't have a lot of Talmidim. They only taught to those that are proper, right and proper. But nowadays we don't have a Navi. So then the Mishnah says you have to have a lot of Talmidim. Ki harbe nechnasim. Because thousands go into Bismerish and only one goes out to Hira. Right, so that's why you have to have as many Talmidim as possible in order to get even one. Now here goes my apikars. I'll start my apikars, but Rabbi, you could go first.
No, go ahead. No, it's fine.
I was thinking, because my kids are talking about the Little League World Series, which is over here in Pennsylvania, like 2 hours away from here. So I went there once. And you think about all these kids, right? These are the top kids in the world playing the Little League World Series. Maybe not even one out of every team makes the major leagues. Not even one. Maybe one out of every face. So my question was, I actually thought this, I think I added it to my sports thing. My question is this a Metzias in Torah? Or is that just a Metzias in life? That a thousand, right? But it could be straight up because if the Olam learns it has to do with Torah, meaning 1,000 Talmidim will go in and one's going to come out. Right? But
what are the stats with college ball? The next level, even college, like what are the stats? I mean, the percentage is very low.
A miyut of a miyut. It's a miyut of a miyut. So I don't know if that's just the way life is. That's where Rabban Shem set up life, of which Torah is included, or is it something specific to Torah? So I'm afraid if I ask the Das Torah what they're going to tell me, like, stop with your Mishigas, right? But
yeah, but Medal of Honor winners. How many men have been? Millions of men have been in the army. How many won the Medal of Honor?
Right. So
why would that be? I don't even know why. Why would that be apikarsis?
No, because here, the way he is explaining it, you have to have Talmidim Harbe, right? Because only one comes out good. So therefore we have to have thousands. Just put them all in. Just let them all into yeshiva, because you gotta hope you're gonna get one out. You hope you get one, right?
Fine.
Or
But he's taking it,
Tamen, you got even Sasi Tamen.
right.
So if you put in the effort, you're gonna succeed.
I don't know.
No,
One out
he
of
said
1,000
no.
doesn't
Really?
count. David, I don't know what
What
school
are the
you're
other
running,
guys
but,
doing?
That's
because the other
participation
6,000 guys
award.
in the mirror are not learning. The guys 8,000 guys in Lakewood are not learning.
right.
Yeah, so I'm asking, how does it fit with that?
I
thought
don't
you were
know.
saying.
I thought you're saying that's success.
Yeah, no. You're going down the road of a participation award.
1 second. Isn't our word success?
Yiddishkeit is that way, by the way. We
Isn't
are.
our definition?
Interesting. Thank you, Hashem.
Isn't our definition of success mutilated?
What? What
Isn't
word
our
did you use?
definition bent, distorted?
What?
Isn't
One
our
second,
definition of success
am I
distorted?
misunderstanding something? There's a difference
second.
between going and learning and getting schar for learning and becoming someone who's able to teach others.
We're not
Right.
talking about schar and learning. We're not talking about schar. Naftali, we're not talking about schar and learning. We're talking about yotze lahayra.
Being impactful, no?
Yeah.
You wanted to use a modernish word for that? Yes. You want to be a disruptor.
There you go. Now you're an influencer.
An influencer and a disruptor.
An influencer, right? An influencer is another one, a good one. But an influencer, all you need to do is have a WhatsApp. That's true. You have 1,000 people that think they're influencers. Only one makes it into a real influencer. You're 100% right? They don't for whatever reason decides to follow whatever particular meshugana, right? For some reason they particularly go with one. So what are you saying, Elio?
I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing. This whole thing's going over my head. I don't understand what the big deal is. Why would this be even controversial?
No, because it sounds like there's something unique about Torah that makes it that it's only going to be 1 in 1,000. That's going to go to be yotze lahayra.
Why does it have to be something unique about Torah?
I don't know. I'm saying not like that, but I think for whatever reason, it's something specific to. Listen, I have the same apikarsis or suffix. Okay, we'll give you a bone. Suffix apikarsis, right? Like you said,
that's 2 for 1 day, by the way. He's gonna get to his head.
Yes, I know. I'm saying like you say like the kid doesn't like to learn. You say just keep learning. You'll eventually enjoy it, and then you see that when you don't have Torah, you're gonna miss it. You know that? Yeah, and the same thing. The kid that loves to play basketball, it's the same thing. Okay, you take his basketball away from him for a few days, he's going nuts, right? And he enjoys it, right? I'm saying maybe the reason why is because we're pumped with Torah, but maybe that's just a human nature type thing. Can you be minded that this one is apikarsis, Elio, or you're not even on that one?
I don't know, maybe. It doesn't excite me so much that it's apikarsis.
Okay, I'm not looking to be an apikaris. I'm just looking to analyze, trying to understand what this means.
It's a good thing this is recorded. If anything, I would say that what he's saying is more apikarsis than what you're saying.
Why?
Because he's saying the Matthias is that only 1 out of 1,000 ends up amounting to anything. That's the apikarsis. To say that the numbers are predetermined in Yiddishkeit and that someone who works hard can't change the odds. That's what he's saying that, not you.
Is it that, or just only 1,000 people want to be a Pesach?
First of all, I don't know what hayra means. You can't understand what hayra means.
How many people with the same last name try to be a posek versus can be a posek?
No, I don't think hayra means posek. Hayra means means, and I don't know.
A leader. I'm just taking it as a leader. Or someone worthy of teaching others, whatever it is.
That's the way I understood it.
Yeah.
No, you don't hear where I'm coming from, that he's being more apikarsis than you are.
Who's he? Rav Schwab?
Yeah. I'm
Quoting
not saying that
quoting
he's
a
an
medrash.
apikaris.
He's quoting the medrash.
Right. It's not. He's just saying pshat. He's just saying pshat that because there's no more nevuah, so you don't really have new talmidim. So since you don't have talmidim, so then you have to put in thousands. But back then they didn't have.
So this is, I mean, this is the what's this against our point, but this is why like so many people are going in the yeshiva system when we say it's intended for the top 5%, but yet the masses go for it. That's this point. Throw everybody in it, and then you'll create this top 5%.
Yeah, that's exactly the mahalach nowadays. You're 100% right. That is exactly the mahalach. Right?
So there's a basis for it.
Yes. Yeah, but the question is the Hamoinam coming out with anything? But that's a different.
Well, it doesn't. It's irrelevant. It doesn't seem like it's relevant here.
The Hamoinam
That's not the point.
It is relevant. He's talking about at least teaching the Talmidim properly. In the yeshiva system, they're not even being taught properly. It's a different shmooze, I think. Anyways, let's see.
It seems like you throw as much as you can against the wall, and one will stick. That's what it seems like you're supposed to do.
So now you're resonating with me. See, what you're saying is that in the yeshiva system,
finally a bone. He finally got a real bone that is.
You think if they bothered to teach them properly, the odds wouldn't be so bad.
Right. No, but it still would be bad. Bad. But at least the Hamoinam. No, there's a difference between the Hamoinam not being. Meaning, there's a big gap between being an Amoretz and being Yotzei L'Hayra. Right? It doesn't have to be. You could have like the Hamoinam being okay. They're just maybe not Yotzei L'Hayra. Right. Okay, whatever. Let's see that, because otherwise we'll never get through this psicha, and Dave will not be happy, man. Right? This one is at least more. This one is more practical. They were not mechuyev to make siyagim. Meaning a siyag is a fence, gedarim, whatever you want to call it. Hashabbos, like it says by Shabbos, Shomer HaTorah, Pashas Kisisa, right? Next to Pashas Shkolim, which we're handling, we're going to try and make it right? It says, V'shomer B'nai Yisrael es HaShabbos, right? So B'nai Yisrael, HaShomer Shabbos. Sheyesh Chiyav Shmira, Chutz Mi-Isra Asiyas Malach. There's a Chiyav Shmira, besides for just not doing Malacha, you have to be Shomer Shabbos. Fine. That's referring to matzah, yeah, of Pesach. But that is the root of Isura D'Rabbanan of Shabbos, right? To do business. That was a siyag. There's no Isur anywhere in the Torah that your business can't be open on Shabbos. Right? There's no. Where's the Isur? And the Zman Nevi'im, businesses could be open on Shabbos. And the Chachamim asked it because of siyag. Perhaps they're going to write. When as long as they had the koyach of nevuah, they were able to reach and feel what Shabbos is all about. And they were able on their own to understand what will take away from the Kedusha of Shabbos and what will not. And what would be mutter. Right? And they didn't have to aser a heter because there's a siyag for iser, meaning they didn't have to aser business to make sure you don't come to write, because they understood where to draw the line. They understood this business, and then make sure you don't write.
That was a good pun, Rav Yaakov, you didn't say.
Which I think, what was
it? They knew where to draw the line.
Oh, very good.
Very good.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah. Same thing, riding on an animal. The Isha Shunamis that said to her husband, Shilchan li echad me'anarim, send me one of the Narim, the young boys, and one of the donkeys, Arutza ad Isha Lakim, and I'll run to Isha Lakim. Why are you going to him? Right? It's not today. Is not Rosh Chodesh. Today is not Shabbos. Mechlal. So Yadarkim Lirchev Ala Asim b'Shabbos Lechas Ala Navi. Right? Their derech was that to go to the Navi. Right? She said, I got to go to my Das Torah. So let's bring it to today's jargon. Right? I got to run to my Das Torah. Give me a donkey. Give me a kid. I'm running. And he said to her, what do you mean? It's not Shabbos and it's not Rosh Chodesh. So why are you running? And the Gemara wants to bring a raya from here that you're supposed to be Makabel Pnei Rabbi on Rosh Chodesh. I forgot where the Gemara is, but the Gemara does want to do that. Either way, but he's being medayik that, what do you mean, like Shabbos? The mashma that on Shabbos you would have rode an animal. Right? So what's up shot? As long as their nefesh was tied into HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they felt with strength the kedusha of Shabbos. Right? What's the right? This is one of those wild gezeres that we have no idea what they're talking about. Right? You can't ride an animal because you might rip off a branch, right, to make it ride better or whatever. So there was no reason to make that gezerah. Rak achashin is batla hanavua. Once nevuah was batal, hechrich lasis mishmeres usyag la'torah. I don't know. This to me sounds like a chiddush. You thought the other one's a chiddush. This sounds like a big chiddush to me, right? And then you can get into the whole thing with swimming too, if you really want to bring it full circle, right? What's the gezerah for swimming? Because you might make a raft, right? You might make a raft, right? So what are you talking about?
Right? I used to work with a fellow, Larry Kreisman, and he said, "What is wrong with you people? I'm not building a raft and grossing a swimming pool. I'm not going to do that."
Well, that's exactly why Rav Shechter holds you could swim in a swimming pool, and he says the whole gezerah was only in a lake or whatever, in a river.
So I mean, Larry,
that's exactly, he's mechaven. He's mechaven.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So you're mechaven. So what he's saying is that the whole lack of nevuah totally dropped us off a cliff from understanding anything. So we don't understand davening. We didn't understand how to daven, and we didn't understand how to even know where, like you said, to draw the line over what we're allowed to do on Shabbos or not. Okay, so did
this come as a result of removing the power of Avodah Zarah?
That's what he's saying, based on what we learned 2 weeks ago. Exactly. It's all tied in. The power of Avodah Zarah, the reason why they had such a strong power of Avodah Zarah, it's good. We chazer it over, right? The whole reason they had a power of Avodah Zarah is because they had this, how do you call it? This supernatural, let's call it that, supernatural thing or desire or ratzon to connect to something higher. And Memela, when they wiped out the taiva for Avodah Zarah, it wiped out the taiva for understanding anything on a higher authority, right? So Memela, and then all this fell along with it. That's what Schwabs is saying. Right?
So every individual had nevuah. Is that what we're saying? Every regular Joe Schmo had it.
He said it to me. He said last week we said it. He said there were there's only 48 Nevi'im and 7 Nevuos. He said, yeah, those are the ones. He says Harbi Nevi'im Abdul Yisrael Kiflaim Ki Yotzim Mitzrayim. If you look on page Chaf, second column, that's what he says, right? Only the nevuah that was necessary for Dyrus, that's what was written down. But yeah, it seemed like Avi, if he thinks that you had these guys collecting, to come, I'll give you a bracha. Nowadays you have them a dime a dozen. Imagine how they were back then, right? Because he discusses that also, that there were Navi shekers back then too. Anyway, so then he finishes. The Kiman Shetiknu Anchik Nesa Gedoyla. Uvehem Kamen Riyim Nusach Tefilla Shalanu. Uvehemes Rabbi Yossi Rav Chanina. Yisadaisa me'Avram Yitzchak v'Yakov. Ulechan Ma'adam Tefillas Neged Tmidim Tiknum. Memela Tzrichim Iyun Tefilla. That's why we need the Sefer. L'samik b'chol teva k'chol shar divrei hanavim. Meaning, since Lamaisa, most of what we're most of what we're saying is from Manchik Nesa Gedoyla. So therefore, we need to be ma'ayin in the Tefillah to try and get to the depths of why they chose certain words to be said, certain sentences to be said, certain things from Tehillim to be said. Goshadash Pashat Remez Drush V'Sayid V'Mekrai Kodesh Kain Yesh Pardes. Right, that's Pashat Remez Drush inside. B'Chol Mila Shel Tefillah. Every single word in Tefillah has a source for that. There's a source to it and there's depth to it, and that's what we got to try and figure out. Okay, all right. I guess we'll stop over there. Fine. I mean, he is saying some chidush.
This is very, very, very good geschmack stuff.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem. All right. On that note,
all these Svarim, especially later people like him, and you see, there's still geniuses around. Even who are geniuses.
Yeah,